I think it's very important that right from the very outset of the lesson, that the teacher gets the child involved. The whole business of online learning is not about conducting 7 or 8 lectures for the child per day. They cannot take that level of being talked at in a normal lesson, and now they're online, their eyes are tired, their ears are even tireder. So the last thing they need is for the teacher to adopt the lecture approach. So there needs to be a good sharp starter for the lesson, something that gets the child definitely involved. There is no reason why material cannot be sent to a child before the lesson. So if, for example, there is to be material that's used for reading, then the child should be sent that in advance of the lesson with the request that that is at least read over and perhaps understood before the lesson has started. Then it means that there's much more in the way of a student's engagement with the material, with the topic during the lesson. As well as that, the teacher can use pictures, they can use a number of devices that can be used as well. It could be an artifact or something that the child is shown. Again, if it's a picture, send them their own copy in advance so that they can see it more clearly, or on their own device. And that can be used as well to create some interest. But the most important thing for me is that the material has to be interesting and it has to be connected to the child's own background. Now this can be at any time, at any lesson, in any place. If it is too cerebral, then the child is not actually really cognitively engaged with the whole thing. So a teacher needs to apply it to a real world setting. So if you're going to be talking about interest rates, for example, make it look like it could be something like the child is going to buy something like a car when they get older. You know, how much interest are they actually going to be paying on it? Or better still, get them to actually look at the interest on house mortgage and make sure they never buy one. There's all sorts of things that can make it very interesting. The children will remember an interesting lesson and an interesting delivery long after the lesson has actually gone. And that's what learning is about. Learning is about remembering stuff after it is actually gone. If you look at Dale's pyramid of experience, you will find that a child that is taught to learns only 5% of the material. 30 days later, only 5% has been retained. So lecturing is out. Copying doesn't even figure. If the children read something, it only goes up to about 10%. If you are getting them to do something or to interact with the material, then it goes up to 75–80%. Particularly if you get the child to actually teach you in return. Well, you've learned that material, now teach me this material. I want to imagine that I know nothing about it, you teach me. The learning then goes up to 95%. So it is important. We do not want passive learning. We want active learning, active students involved in the lesson.